Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer is returning to completely change their initial assessment, largely due to the seller's exceptional support. While there have been a number of issues with the product, our reviewer found the seller to be incredibly kind, responsive, and informative. Whenever a repair was needed, the company sent out replacement parts. Even though shipping could take a while, the components always arrived, often accompanied by helpful tutorial videos to make the installation process clear and straightforward. This 5-star customer service was a major factor in turning the experience around. The electric bike itself has presented a handful of challenges. A primary concern for this client was the battery life, which never came close to the advertised maximum range, typically offering just over 15 miles per charge. Since this commuter bike is quite heavy and difficult to manage without power, this limited the user's travel distance significantly without a recharge or a spare battery. Other problems cropped up over time, including a frightening tire and tube blowout while riding, brakes that failed to engage properly and then wore out very quickly, and condensation forming under the LCD screen. Most alarmingly, the throttle began to malfunction, causing the bike to accelerate on its own if the brake wasn't actively applied, a serious safety concern that required a replacement part. Despite the need for repairs, the user still appreciates many things about this electric bike. Its substantial weight gives it a very sturdy and stable feel on the road, and the overall design is quite beautiful. After making a few personal adjustments, like adding a more comfortable seat for better pedaling posture and carrying a brighter front light for night riding, the experience improved greatly. Ultimately, our reviewer concludes that for its price point, it's a solid machine. Given the seller's reliability and the bike's sturdy build, they feel it may last for several years and would even consider purchasing it again.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer found this electric bike to be a great value. After ordering a pair of identical models, our reviewer noted that while the shipping boxes looked a bit rough on arrival, the packaging was excellent, leaving the contents completely undamaged. The assembly process had a bit of a learning curve. The first bicycle took a couple of hours to put together with video instructions, but the second was finished in under an hour. This client did run into a couple of snags during the build, pointing out a misaligned rear luggage rack that was difficult to install and front wheels that rubbed against the disc brakes, requiring some initial readjustment. Once assembled, however, the commuter electric bike performed quite well. Our reviewer was impressed with the power, observing that even the low assist setting was surprisingly strong. When tackling a steep 70-foot bridge, the medium setting was more than enough, suggesting that even the lowest power level might have been sufficient. In fact, this user has yet to even need the highest setting, expressing satisfaction with choosing the more powerful motor option. The performance is solid and other components like the disc brakes work great. A few practical issues did come up. The seat required significant tightening with socket wrenches to stay in place. More notably, a flat tire from a tiny sticker burr served as a valuable lesson. The reviewer now strongly recommends always carrying a can of Fix-A-Flat, a precaution that proved its worth just a week into owning the bike. Despite these minor hiccups, the overall impression is very positive. The reviewer feels these bikes are sturdy and reliable enough to serve as their primary transportation for errands and exploring new places, making them a purchase our reviewer is very happy with.
All right, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer spent considerable time exploring options virtually, even conducting a physical test drive, before ultimately deciding on this particular electric bike. Their emphatic advice: skip the extensive search and go straight for this model. Our reviewer readily admits that the initial setup presented a few minor frustrations. The accompanying instructions, even with a supplementary video, left much to be desired. Furthermore, a small issue arose with one of the chain guard screws rubbing against the chain, requiring a pair of pliers to gently adjust it. Adding to these minor hurdles, this client also needed to procure a specific pack of screws and nuts from a local hardware store to properly attach the tail light mount to the back of the bike. Despite these initial hiccups, the overall experience earned a resounding 5-star rating. The primary reason is simply that this electric bike performs exceptionally well, reliably getting its rider wherever they need to go. The throttle in particular proved to be incredibly convenient and functional, providing a boost of speed that aids stability and makes starting, even on an incline, effortlessly smooth. Our reviewer noted that after test driving various bikes, some costing several $1,000s, this model holds its own, feeling comparable to an electric bike in a much higher price bracket. Beyond its impressive functionality, this electric bike also conveys a sense of substantial quality construction. It doesn't come across as a cheap imitation. Rather, it feels genuinely well built and designed for longevity, though the reviewer acknowledges it's still early days to definitively confirm its long-term durability. Perhaps the most surprising and impactful aspect of this purchase was the truly outstanding customer service. When our reviewer incorrectly attached the seat to the pole, an understandable mistake given the less than clear instructions, they sent a photo to the company, in an extraordinary respo.
And that's a wrap. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe. Got questions? Let's chat in the comments. See you soon.